Das Rheingold and the Ring cycle is basically a 19th century telling of the Marvel multi-universe. It's an opportunity to tell to a new generation, to share with them the incredible music of Wagner and the characters that he created, because basically it's a story about the god of all gods, Wotan, or in Norse mythology, Odin, and his wife, Frigga, and his obsession with having the ring, with having the gold that leads into the ring, which brings you the ultimate power. The way that we're telling that story is that we're absolutely embracing the power of mythology, the power that mythology has to be relevant for any time period, because the human stories, the human condition that they convey, are similar for every society in every century that ever existed.
Hi, my name is Tommy Bourgeois. I'm the props designer, coordinator, fixer, builder, getter at the Dallas Opera. The main job I have here to do is if people on stage have anything that they have to sit on, carry, eat, get, hold, I have to provide it for them, or provide some aspect of it. A new opera, you have the designers, it's being created from the beginning, which I like better. So you get to go through the process with them, what they want done, how they approach it, and so you can kind of get into their mind and their way of seeing it to make it fall into their world. And I really like doing that because you just kind of become one with the opera, but you're able to get better into what you have to do and create stuff for them. And it's fun to create stuff because a lot of times you're creating things that don't really ever exist or never have existed, but you get to make it up. So it's kind of cool. But an opera comes in like this one, where things already exist, even though it's a new opera, this was all brought in from being built elsewhere. Sometimes you have to redo things or adjust them as they go through the process. And both of them require a vast knowledge of a lot of things, but also just the experience of doing these over and over and over again. You kind of can figure it out pretty quickly and pretty simply. These pieces here is that as great as they look now, when they're on stage, they don't look as great as they need to look. So I have to make them shinier, I have to make them more vibrant and to work for what they want it to do, to look like this photonic gold that they find in this other world. I may have to put some big glitter on them, I may have to put gold leaf on them, I may have to put mylar on them to make them really do what the designer and the director are trying to get it to convey to the audience.
If you look at what happens in terms of entertainment in the past couple of decades, from The Lord of the Rings to Game of Thrones to House of Dragon to Marvel Universe, this world is very, very supportive of telling stories in a mythological way. This generation really connects with mythology. And the way that we're telling the story of Rheingold and the Ring is being faithful to the principle that Wagner himself created, which was that mythology is relevant to any time period. And if you try to unpack that, if you try to move it in terms of time period or space, it's not going to always be consistent, which is why we're going with really being true to the mythological elements of the Ring. The world that we're creating is very much a colorful fantasy world where the sets are absolutely mesmerizing. Projections and technology allow us to get into different worlds that will blow the audience mind. And the costumes by Maddie Ulrich are stunning. I love what I do. I would always prefer to stay in theater and opera because opera is a live art form and you have the benefit of being with other people in a communion almost, watching something that unfolds live in front of your eyes on stage as opposed to film, where you can have the ability to tinker with how it's all going to end up looking. The conditions are very different. And there's something about live performance that is irreplaceable.